problem with you. Today go to some right here. This shouldn't be legal. Let's wreck it.
I may not be a quantum physicist or anything like that, but I still would like to present to you a theory that I've cooked up here. One that I'm nowhere near qualified enough to speak on with good authority, but one I'm going to present with confidence anyway. I'm going to punch above my weight class to deliver an important truth about our universe that will open your third eye. And trust me, this is going to be a shocking revelation. I believe at some point along our developmental path, we have overlapped with a parallel universe. I will dub our original timeline the Berenstain Bears timeline because that's what the books were known as when I was a child. And at some point along our history, our timeline collided with the Berenstain timeline, and the two performed a bit of a fusion dance, an unholy matrimony, and merged together, forming this amalgamation of nightmares we now live in, our new cursed timeline. And one of the effects of the timeline isn't just Berenstain Bears being changed to Berenstain, it's also, seemingly, the fixation every successful company has on self-destruction. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but some of the most successful companies in the world are making the absolute dumbest decisions. It's as if when the timelines collided, all of the leaders of these companies got banished to the doofus dimension and got replaced by an entire fucking circus. All of these clowns now in charge, bozo, are doing the dumbest things ever, sinking their companies. And the most recent
basically true, yeah.
Example is Ubisoft. Ubisoft just proudly announced that they are actually willing to shut down inactive Ubisoft accounts, which means deleting all of the games you paid for. Getting rid of your access to those games. Now, before going into this story in particular, I'll go ahead and preface this by saying...
For example, I played For Honor back in the day for like 1k hours. Is my progress now completely gone or what? Because I haven't played it since like 2021, I guess. This is insane.
This isn't necessarily new, that's not groundbreaking. Steam, for example. If you get banned on Steam, like if you get your Steam account taken away, you lose your games. Basically, when you're buying a digital good on Steam, you're kind of just paying for like the receipt saying that you can play it. Like you're paying for an admission ticket, but you can always get kicked out. You don't own anything, which is why physical media is still a very important thing. But before I really dive in here, I want to thank today's sponsor.
Holy shit, are you playing Watcher of Realms?
I am.
Oh my god.
Tell me about it, I've heard
Support, man.
Watcher of Realms is a next-gen fantasy RPG where you explore the mysterious continent of Taya and collect over 100 heroes.
Like,
Watcher of Realms isn't like...
This is the only dude with low effort editing, but he's just highly skilled in just making videos, like with his personality and shit. This is insane.
Other games you're used to. There's still casting, character synergy, hero matching, and more, which adds a very nice layer of skill and strategy to it. You collect gear, artifacts, and skill dust to upgrade your heroes to give you an edge in battle. You can also team up with your guild partners to challenge the epic dragon and rush to the top of rankings. Watcher of Realms looks beautiful. It's 3D models for each hero with custom animations, and of course it comes with fantastic soundtrack as well.
There's over 30 races, like humans, elves, demons. There's 6 unique classes you can play, 8 factions, and you can enjoy just the rich storylines of the continent of Taya. You deploy your heroes, use your skills at the right time, and kind of, use that to get an edge in battle.
There's even an event going on right now for the launch of the game where you can join the Game Theorists and J-Schlatt's team in order to compete for rewards using the link below. So thanks again for Watcher of Realms for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to use the link or scan the QR code on screen to check out the game today. So let's dive in. It all started with this Twitter post here saying, Ubisoft closes your account if you haven't logged in for some time. You will lose all your games purchased forever. And then it shows a screenshot of the email they had received saying that they're temporarily suspending the inactive Ubisoft account and will be permanently closing it in 30 days in accordance to their terms. But if you wish to keep this account, then you've got to click on the link that's in the email below. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was maybe a bit of baloney here. I didn't know if
this looks like a scam or some kind of virus invitation where you should click on a link.
Legitimate, or maybe...
While getting mailed, you know?
This was like some kind of isolated incident or some kind of like fringe outlier where the account must have done something, had violations or something, and now it's been collecting dust. I just thought there was extenuating circumstances. Because, like, with Steam, you're usually not just getting banned willy-nilly. No one's losing their Steam account for not logging for, like, a long period of time, I don't think. At least not that I know of. So this was certainly a first, and it was an eye-opener. Because Ubisoft did confirm this. They went into the replies and said this. Hey there. No exclamation point. You make me sick, Ubisoft support. At least show some excitement here. Get some enthusiasm behind the statement. Hey there with just a period?
Yeah.
How monotone. I can feel that you don't even want to be in the replies. We just wanted to chime in that you can avoid the account closure by logging into your account within the 30 days since receiving the email pictured and selecting the cancel account closure link contained in the email. We certainly do not want you to lose access to your games or account, so if you have any difficulties logging in, then please create a support case with us, and then linking ubisoft.com/help. So they do confirm that this is a real policy, and if you don't click that cancel account closure link, you're losing your account and you're losing all the games that you have paid for. No negotiation. Ubisoft is shutting the doors and they're taking your toys, and that's pretty hard. Like that's kind of aggressive, I would say. So I did a little bit more digging here, and according to this article that I was reading,
it's insane. You're just potentially losing customers for like no reason at all because you did that. Like, it doesn't even make sense financially. Do you think they're gonna buy that shit again or play through all that shit again? Only a few people would, but I'm just disappointed, man.
they do make this policy pretty clear, though it's one that I was unfamiliar with, and I'm guessing a lot of other people were unfamiliar with as well. This article comes from Windows Central and says that on their website, they detail the policy against inactive accounts. Please be reassured that Ubisoft does not automatically close inactive accounts. As part of our terms of use, in rare instances, we may immediately close inactive accounts to comply with local data protection legislation. This is only if we have strong reasons to believe that the account in question will remain unused. I don't know how they would have reasons to believe that an account will be unused unless they have like a death certificate of the person who owned the account. Like, you'd never be able to say with a high level of certainty who's never coming back, right? Like, how would they have access to that kind of information? But regardless, they go on saying that they may also close long-term inactive accounts to maintain their database. You'll be notified by email if we begin the process of closing your inactive account. If your account was flagged as inactive and you would like to keep using it, you can cancel the closure of your Ubisoft account and then find the link for the cancellation in the Ubisoft email. And then there's some more mumbo jumbo about checking your spam folder just in case and this and that. But it does confirm that they will delete inactive accounts from time to time, and that does mean losing all of the games that you paid for. I still don't really understand the reason for it. It doesn't make much sense to me. The only time this ever makes any sense to me is in the case of cheaters. If someone's cheating in an online game, obviously banning them makes sense. Yes, they may have paid for the product, but that doesn't mean that they get to go in there and cheat in the game. And they should be banned for it, which does restrict access to the game they paid for. But it's their fault. They fucked themselves. They broke the rules. Whereas here, no one's breaking any rules. They're just not active on Ubisoft. For good reason. Uplay is a fucking laughable joke of a service, so maybe there's just nothing that's bringing them back, and they haven't been back for a while. Why should they lose access to all of the games they fucking paid for? When it comes to like a single-player game, or really any game aside from cheating in multiplayer games, when you pay for it, you own it forever, and should always have access to it, because you bought it. But that's just not the way things really work when it comes to digital goods. And there's always just kind of been like this handshake agreement that, you know, you bought this on our service, so you do have it, you can play it whenever you want. Until we tell you you can't. And here they're saying you can't based on some arbitrary distinction of you've been gone too long. You're too inactive, so we're deleting you. Which I think is really fucking dumb. That should be illegal to do that, if you ask me. And let me explain why I think this is a horrible decision from Ubisoft. Why I think this is a particularly detrimental financial move for Ubisoft and other companies that follow suit is because it incentivizes people to not buy the official product. It encourages piracy. And not just this, but also the overly aggressive DRM a lot of games implement that actually makes the games play worse, is begging people to pirate the game instead because they get a more functional version of the game and they actually get to own it. when you pirate a game, you own the game. That can't be taken away from you. Whereas if you buy the official game, if you just don't log into your Ubisoft account enough, you might just lose what you paid for. They might just deem you gone too long. You know, you went to the store to get milk and didn't come back in time, so now all of the games you bought from Ubisoft, you can't access anymore. The shit you paid for, you can't play. I don't know how companies that have been around as long as Ubisoft has, or been as successful as Ubisoft has, are all of a sudden just missing the most basic concepts here. The water in their facility must be contaminated with a stupid juice infestation. I don't get it. Because the number one thing to combat piracy is a better service. It's not more DRM. It's not making things more difficult. It's making things easier, more convenient, faster, and better. You get a better product when you buy the official one. You get it quicker. You get it easier, less headache. It's just a better service. That's what beats piracy. But for some reason, companies like Ubisoft are going in the opposite direction, where they're making a worse product and worse service for anyone that's trying to legitimately buy it and engage with the official products, thus pushing people to piracy. It's something that everyone has mentioned like 1,000 times over the last few years. It's not just like a hot take from me or like a galaxy brain observation from me. This is basic shit that a company like Ubisoft should be able to recognize. It's just dumb. Like, it's a silly policy to have. There's no way that it like somehow makes them money or saves them money or even like really frees up space or bandwidth for them or anything. It is just nonsensical. It's just dumb. It's just fucking silly. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this because this is just another example of another very successful company making the stupidest decisions for really no reason and no benefit.
Okay, this was, as always, just really disappointing by a big tech company. Quite sad, man. Like, for example, me, like I said before, I played a shit ton of For Honor. Imagine all of that progress you made like back in the day when you were younger, when you grinded out the ranks. And then returning like a few years later, because we had work, but maybe you have free time now and you afforded yourself a place and shit. You just want to play again, but you can't. Yeah, it's quite sad. I still would really appreciate your support. Go support penguinz0. You made the content. I just reacted to it. So would appreciate comment, like, and sub as always. And I guess that's it. I guess see you next time. Wafer.